준따개도. Third part, 준뚜구바. Second and third part together. 준따개도, 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 준뚜구바, 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 준뚜구바. 준뚜구바. Yep. Yes, again.
Yes.
Do it again.
Sorry.
Do it again. It's okay. It's okay. So think about it. 준따개도. 준뚜구바.
Yes.
Woo! From the beginning.
Okay.
Wait, think about it first, right? 준따개도. 준뚜구바. Ready? 1, 2.
Yes.
Nice.
Nice.
I love it. Good. now you can do that. Hey, how's it going? It's Carl, aka Carl Drum Tech. I'm here right now in Singapore, right here at the Esplanade. And what I wanted to talk about today is competition versus helping each other out. Now, I had the privilege of, while I was here, I got to meet up with somebody who was following me on my Instagram. His name is Danish. We created some drum videos together, we talked about some stuff, and hopefully some of the things that I recreated has already been released and you've seen some of that. But what I really wanted to talk about today is part of our conversation in regards to competition. Now, I had some great perspective from him in terms of what marching band is like over here, in that when they have a marching band competition, it's only like once every 2 years, for that one competition, there might be 6 groups competing. What he told me was, back in the day, there might have been more marching bands than just 6. But what happened was, it was always the same groups that were always winning and always being the best. And then the rest of the groups are kind of like just like floating around, and they're like, well, if we can't beat these guys, then we might as well, quote unquote, give up. And then they just focus on concert band season. And then just the field just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Now, I think that highlights a very important downside to competition, in that, yes, I believe that competition is a great thing to try to create like a bar of measure for us, like something to reach for, right? It's like these groups are the best, or these drummers are the best, and we're trying to get up to their level, and we are inspired by how good they are, and we want to be where they are, and hopefully one day be able to be better than them and have that pride of like, yes, I did it, I got better than you. There is nothing wrong with that. I love that feeling. I love being competitive. And me, myself, I'm very competitive, and it's definitely something that motivates you and makes you strive to do better. But the downside of that is that, like, we the people who are great, right? It's like we have this talent, and then if we don't share it with anybody, then it's just like, well, it's nice being at the top, we're lonely at the top, and we're not gonna help anybody else, so, oh well, too bad. And then the rest of the people might get discouraged just because they don't have that extra help. And it always helps to have somebody who is good helping you out, right? Like, I'm sure that at some point in your life, you were taught or helped by somebody who is more advanced than you are, and that really helped you out tremendously, because they have that perspective of, well, I'm at this high level, let me show you how I got there, and then hopefully you can get there as well. So that's the good thing, right? But there's not enough of that, I believe, in our activity. What I told Danish was that back in the States, we might have 12 competitions a year. That's with marching band, indoor percussion, and color guard, and that doesn't include concert band and jazz band if you are into those things. So there's so many performances, there's so many competitions, and there is just this drive for compete. And like I said, I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, but at the same time, there isn't this sense of community and really helping each other out. I'm not saying we don't help each other out. I mean, there's definitely been times where I've gone to a competition and I forgot, one of the kids forgot a harness, and I can go up to another group and ask for a harness. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm just saying that, some groups who are the best, if they were to kind of like be more inclusive and share their knowledge and just, show people how they win. And I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying there isn't any of that, but I'm saying if there was more than that, it would help out the activity as a whole. Let me give you a very specific example. Now, as you guys know, I have a friend named Hui Yuan Pan. He also has a social media brand that he's also trying to grow and promote. And what hopefully you've seen from us is there's a sense of collaboration. We're always helping each other out. And if there's anything competitive between us, it's just more like accountability, right? It's like, all right, we're gonna do this, and then we check in next time and we're like, hey man, did you do it? Right? And then it's like, that's the competitive aspect of it. I don't wanna go up to Wei and say, oops, I didn't do it, right? I don't wanna have that on me. So that's the closest thing we do to competing against each other. The thing is, we can compete against each other, and we could have had that from the start. Right? It's like, I see this guy, he's coming up. I don't want him to catch up to me. I better like work my butt off and just get better, right? And we never talk. It's always just like, there's like a tense feeling of like, I'm trying to compete against you, I'm trying to beat you. But the feeling that we've had has always been just like helping each other out, collaborating, and just overall, hopefully what you've seen is that when we do that, we help each other out. We help each other grow. That's a stark contrast from just competing against each other and trying to chase each other versus like, well, let me get on your channel so that your people can see me. Let me get you on my channel so the people who are following me can see you. And it just helps us out in general, and it helps out the community if we help each other out, right? If drummers were to give more tips and knowledge to other drummers who are not as advanced, it would raise up the activity as a whole. So if you take the contrast of the groups here in Singapore, right? In some ways, competition has kind of drove the activity downwards to where it's like it's almost non-existent. So that's the extreme of what can happen if we're just so hyper-focused on competition. Does that make sense, right? So it's like Wei has a saying, right? It's like partner up. So partner up with somebody. If you're in the drumline and you're one of the better players, sometimes go out of your way to help somebody out who is not as good as you. Guess what? It's gonna help out your entire group overall if you do that. And if I have just one more critique about the activity, is that, I think it's great that there's so many people out there who are showing their skills, showing their talents, and just, I gotta say, the talent level that's out there on the internet is absolutely incredible. I've never seen anything like it ever since the internet came out, and there's so many people just displaying their talents, displaying their skills, displaying their proficiency. It's extremely inspiring, and I'm sure it's inspired a lot of young kids to pick up the sticks and try to do the same thing. But what I see is that it's just so much of, look at me, look at what I can do, look at this awesome, cool lick I can play, look at these rudiments that that I can just play super fast, right? But and that can serve a purpose in terms of inspiration, right? You might be like, cool, I want to try to do that. But then, it's like, if you are in that position where you're trying to be inspired and you're learning, it's like, oh wait, how do you do that? So it really helps if the person in that position can be like, hey, let me show you how to do this one thing. Even if you just show that one thing, it's gonna help out the other people who are trying to strive to get to your level. I truly believe that in some ways, it's all about making each other better rather than just always be competing against each other. Does that make sense? Cool. And I guess if there's one last thing I would say, it's just that, at the end of the day, right, if we look at this from a big picture life perspective, one day we're all gonna die, all right? People who are rich, right, they've achieved a certain kind of status, they work really hard, versus the people who maybe not has worked as hard. And then, it's like, but we all die, right? And it's like the people who are rich get buried the same way as the people who are not rich. Like, we're all the same in the end once we're down in the dirt, all right? Now, not trying to get morbid, but at the same time, it's like, what's the point of trying to be better than everybody if in the very end, we're all the same? In some ways, it doesn't matter, right? So what I'm trying to, and I'm not trying to say like, don't try to strive to be the best. I think what's really important is you either right? Try to strive to be the best you possibly can. Try to improve every single day, every single second, every single minute, right? You're just trying to improve every moment you have. And then who knows, at the end, hopefully you're gonna be like, you can look back in your life and be very proud of what you've done. I have a friend who I taught with named Pete Sappin, and he always used to tell the drumlines that he taught, we're all trying to create a DVD at the end of the season, right? It's like, at the end of the season, you have this DVD of your final performance, and that's the thing you look back on, once everything's all done, once you're in the future, and you can be like, hey, there's that cool DVD. I'm really proud of what we did here. And that's the same thing in life. It's like, try to make your life as epic as humanly possible. Try to strive to be the best you can be, so that at the very end, you are super proud of what you've done, and you can look back and feel happy about what you've accomplished, right? Or the other thing that you can do is try to live a life of helping others. Try to live a life of lifting up the community around you, specifically speaking, the marching percussion activity. Try to see what you can do, even just to help out the immediate drumline, the immediate members in the drumline around you. If you're at a certain level, try to share your skills. Try to share some tips that'll help them out, so you can help your entire drumline grow, rather than just kind of hoarding all that information yourself, and then you're just being like, well, I'm the top. I'm really happy at the top. I don't want anybody beating me. The way I look at it is, if I can help people, a lot of people, get better than me at drumming, then I've lived a life of extreme purpose. And that's what I want to be able to say. That's why Carl Drum Tech exists, and that's why people like my friend William Pan also are here as well for you guys. All right, so cool. That's all I want to talk about today. Thank you guys so much if you've been watching, and if you guys like this video, please hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comments below. And if you have not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Make sure you guys subscribe, and please, if you feel like somebody could really use this video and be really uplifted with the concepts that I'm sharing with you today, please make sure you share this video. I would really appreciate it. All right, cool. So signing off here from Singapore. I love this city. It's a great city. It's nice and clean. It's nice and safe, and I love it here. All right, so cool. Hopefully you guys get a chance to travel and check it out as well. All right, peace out. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.